you from the 37th parallel on America's haunted highway, it's Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.
What's up, everybody, and welcome. This is episode 145 of Pixelated Paranormal. And on this episode, we had originally promised a Cryptid Encounters follow-up to the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. However, with all the positivity coming in from, last week's episode and the production we did for the Murfreesboro Mud Monster, we thought we better postpone the follow-up for 1 week so that we can actually, add that same kind of quality in. Because you know what? You guys deserve better.
Yep.
And
we had people pulling over to the side of the road laughing.
In other countries, in fact.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
My kids loved it. They wanted to know who was Deputy Dipshit and who Rocky Balboa was.
Oh, that's awesome. That was fun. We had a blast doing it. We're so happy all you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for all the positive comments and reaching out and letting us know how much you enjoyed it. So, we're gonna put that one on a quick pause so we can kind of add a little more quality into that. But have no fear. Next week, we'll have it ready for you. At the top of the episode, I also want to drop a quick correction from last week. We had a listener reach out, and I'll keep you anonymous.
Bullshit, call him out. No, I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to add
him, her, goofed. Whatever.
She pointed out that we goofed last week, even more chauvinistic than half the stuff that Preston says.
Ooh,
ouch.
What is it? I'm intrigued.
Last week, Stephen, we claimed that you were not a man until you shit your pants.
It's true. Indeed.
But we have to ask ourselves, what about the ladies?
That's true. That's very true. I did not.
So, yes, we had a listener point that out, and so I just want to say
any gender or anything like that. We're cool here. We're fluid.
Man, woman, non-binary, and everybody in between, around, and beside.
Yep.
Everybody poops.
Everyone should shit their pants.
You're not an adult until you shit your pants.
As you're listening.
Yes, we need to have a solitary, unified pants shatting.
I think the best part about this is that you were debating whether to cut this out as you were producing the episode.
I know.
Or editing the episode. And then also that people actually still listened after that story. Continue to finish the episode.
That's what you do. You put the terrible stuff in the beginning, and then the payoff, of course, was the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. Which, mud butt, mud monster,
True.
Swamp ass.
Right, swamp ass. So we just want to say thank you for pointing that out. And we stand unified with our brothers, our sisters, our non-binary listeners, and everybody, as we all can shit our pants.
Word.
Cool. Well, since we don't have a cryptid encounter, I thought we might as well share some fun news that Steve and I have come across in the last few days, dealing with, how the world is starting back up again and proceeding after this COVID pandemic crap, because there's been some interesting news stories of just how exactly some of these businesses and restaurants and even sports teams are trying to pick up the pieces and move forward with a more normal life.
Very true. So, it's no secret that South Korea loves their robots.
Yes.
They have the most creepiest, deadly-looking robots you'd ever... like that one video where Obama was watching that one kick a soccer ball towards him and whatnot.
God, I know.
Sorry, football, whatever you want to call it.
Football.
Thing where you kick the ball, whatever. It's just creepy as hell looking. It's so weird. And they love the robots. So when I first seen this on, I think it was Reddit or something, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Or maybe Facebook. And South Korea has this football team or soccer team.
I think they call it soccer in the Koreas.
Yeah, they're kind of weird because these dudes are like overweight, like not not your average athletic looking dudes, and it's funny.
Soccer team.
Oh yeah, it is, man, and I think their baseball's like that too. If I can't, it's
Shayla's cousin and I once when I was in Texas a couple years ago, we were bored, just the two of us hanging out because everybody else went out shopping, and we came across like ESPN 6 was showing the men's softball championship game.
It's very entertaining.
It was amazing. They were all like in their late 30s at the youngest. They were all very, very
portly.
Portly.
And they were loving it. They were having so much fun. And the fans were and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, Michael and I both stood up and we're like, we fucking have a chance. We can be professional athletes.
Yeah, no shit. And so with this, they have, a stadium, obviously. Well, COVID-19 hit. You can't do that.
Yeah.
They've been continuing their games, but they've been putting robots in the seats for fans and whatnot. Now, robots in seats to make them look creepy, whatever. I don't know. They've done that before. They've put in robots in seats for stadium, not at this scale because obviously. But the cool thing about this one is that you can actually download an app that this robotics team has made for the robot. So you basically purchase your time for the robot, and on the app you can do things such as like the wave and hold up signs on this little LED thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's unique. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. If they're really into that sport and that team, then I think it's cool. It's just really cool to see that. And I mean, robots, they are the creepiest damn things. You should see these things and Google it. Type in South Korea robot fan soccer, and you'll see the pictures. It's the creepiest shit ever. But as I was researching this thing today, I was like, I kept finding videos from like 2014 of the same shit.
Yeah, that is
so
true.
unique.
It's not the first time it's hit the headlines, but that's awesome, dude. I think that's really unique. Unique solution for that kind of problem. But you got to ask yourself, who's going to download the app and find a way to hack that robot, and all of a sudden have like just a murderous, rampaging robot take out an entire soccer team?
That's pretty deep. That'd be insane. Now, when it comes to America, America's obsessed with sports, and it's a very lucrative business, and it's affecting, these major leagues very, 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 very much. And they're talking about, quiet cat, they're talking about reopening the, NFL and the NBA and stuff like this. And then obviously not letting people in the stands, but letting the athletes play. They have to be tested every day, fever, all that stuff. But then, like, how would that affect the game? Because I've been to Chiefs games, and Chiefs are known for the energy. And that's the reason why I go. I'm not a sports dude. I don't sports. Right. But when you go to a live game, regardless of the sport, it's fun. You feel energy because it's just like a concert. Everybody there's having a good time. Oh yeah. So when you don't have that interaction, that'd be a weird game, man. But think about how cool it would be. Like I don't sports, but I appreciate the novelty of this. And as I'm imagining myself as like a big sport nut, being able to hear the sounds of no cheers, no instruments, actually hear the hits, maybe hear the calls on the field, that would be pretty badass. As like a, damn, this is a weird time we live in where I'm actually being able to see this happen. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think of things like that when I think about like, movies are important to me. Going to movie theaters is very important to me. And I see what Vudu and Microsoft movies and Apple movies, all these companies are doing, letting people stream theater at home. And it's just not the same. It's not at all, dude. Like I remember, Brady downloaded one of the movies and it was like $22, and they got like 48 hours to stream it a couple times or something like that. And I was just like, that's not worth it to rent a movie. We were just watching it on your TV at home, and you don't get the experience.
Well, I mean, I would argue that you were going to spend that $20 to go see it at a theater, And then how
Yeah.
many times do you drop $30 or $40 on two tickets to a movie, let's say, or $20,
Yeah.
for one person to get snacks and see a movie?
Listen, Sean, don't show me the pros of this. I don't want to lose theaters, bro.
Oh, no, I don't want to lose theaters either.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we dropped $20 to watch The Invisible Man, and
That's true.
And the thing too is, I don't.
Then again, I think about it as because I'm a supporter of the Premier Stubs thing and the unlimited movie pass type subscriptions, whereas you and Shayla don't do that. So it would make sense for you. I think about like as many movies as we go see. I think about all the things that we do as friends. Like that's probably the activity we've done the most for sure.
Sure. Oh yeah, man. Especially come October, dude. Half the movies we watch a year happen in October.
Yeah,
but I think too, the thing that obviously people that work for these, theater owners and stuff like that and production companies, they went to school. Some of them are smarter than I am. But the thing that people, I don't know if people realize that we only rented The Invisible Man because that was an option. It wasn't a regular situation. We were just sitting at home thinking, why go to a theater when we could watch a movie from home? And also, Invisible Man and Trolls 2 and whatever else, came out to be the first movies you could do that through Amazon or whatever. They only gave that option initially because they had to. They were kind of cornholed because they just dropped those movies, a few weeks before the entire nation shut down, the entire world shut down. So theoretically, that's how they were going to try to make the most of their money back. Because can you imagine Universal dropping whatever it cost to make, The Invisible Man?
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then just making back maybe 6 figures back, No, that was a way for them to make back that revenue. So I think that some of these people saying, well, we're just going to make that a normal everyday thing, that's kind of stupid. And at first I was kind of angry that theaters were like, well, we're not going to show Universal movies anymore. But I get it because, again, a movie theater, they don't make the money off the tickets. They make the money off the popcorn, the drinks, all that kind of stuff. So, I do understand and I can sympathize and empathize with theaters for making that decision to maybe not want to show Universal movies. But at the same time, fuck it. If I'm going to, if I'm going to watch a movie at home, I'll just download it.
Yeah.
Or have somebody else download it.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I'm thinking Universal Harry Potter at home. No.
Wait, what? Universal owns Harry Potter? I thought that was a Warner Brothers thing.
That's Warner Brothers. Why did I think I'm thinking Universal Studios.
I'll never get to ride Hagrid's bus.
Or what's some other things like the Universal's done?
Oh, there was a ton of them. We talked about
Back to the Future, right?
Back to the Future. Well, it wasn't Halloween. Does Universal own Blumhouse?
Maybe.
I don't know. There was a big blockbuster that we were all worried about.
We're getting so way off topic.
We certainly
are. Shitty Mummy remake with Tom Cruise, that was Universal.
Yeah.
Well, and the original Mummy.
Right, yeah, any Universal horror movie. They're kind of trying to revamp those, and they're being about 60% successful, in my opinion. But so, hey, let me watch me bring it back. So, talking about movies and sports and everything else, and what you said, Steve, watching sports in a live setting in a crowd of people. I don't sports either. Shayla and her family took me to a Texas Longhorns game several years ago where they played at K-State. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to go, and I'm so happy I did because seeing a sports
He came out with a cowboy hat and a little pistol on his side.
Pew, pew. No, but
Budweiser in his hand.
Football.
Well, to be fair, Preston, I did say y'all way before that, but being in the crowd, it was
because you've known
rad.
Shayla half your life.
That's true. Bitch, I'm from Texas too.
No, true. But are you really?
But am I really? Ouch. Touche. But so I don't sports, but I'll be damned if I did sit there every single time the Bulls played on TV through the 90s. And what was I getting at? I was going to mention.
You're like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, we did take the cart. Anyway, there's going to be something I was going to say anecdotal about the Last Dance documentary about the Chicago Bulls. That's right now on ESPN or whatever, but never mind. Let's get back onto it. So, yes, South Korea, they're doing a lot of weird stuff right now with robots. But doing the robot thing as a live audience participation, kitsch, was not the only thing they did. They're also in headlines for another audience participation flub. It looks like the FC Seoul soccer team said that it meant to add some fun in a no spectator match, but ended up having to apologize because they used sex dolls to fill empty seats in their stadiums. The leaders of a South Korean soccer club might be feeling like boobs after they were exposed for using sex dolls to make an empty stadium look like it was full of fans. The FC Seoul placed 30, quote, mannequins around its stadium for a game against the Gwangju FC, or football club, I'm assuming. And they also added signs in the hands of the mannequins to kind of make it look like they were just actual fans enjoying the game. The Seoul Club said in a statement it believed the figures were just ordinary mannequins. The action on the field must not have been that great because people watching the match from home quickly noticed that some of the fake fans wore clothing advertising sex toys and that many of them were especially busty. The BCC noted pornography is banned in South Korea, making this a really big no-no. I just picture a ton of really horny sports team owners like, you know what, this is it, boys. Let's order a whole truckload of them. Now's our chance. The football team said, we had tried to add some fun in a no spectator match, but we have not checked all the details, and that is clearly our fault. The team said it was assured by the doll supplier that the figures weren't sex products, but the football club Seoul didn't explain why it chose Dolcom, a company specifically known for sex dolls. Dolcom director Cho Young-jun told the BBC the sex logos should have been removed from the dolls prior to the game. Quote, but there were several hairbands and logos left to be caught by the public eye. The football club Seoul could be facing consequences beyond the embarrassment because the league has a rule against inappropriate or sexual advertisements, so the team could also be heavily fined. That's great because
That's crazy.
That the company
just don't
selling
give
the
a
sex,
shit.
right? And the company selling those sex dolls is probably like, yeah, no, they're just mannequins, guys. Go ahead and place that order for what'd you say, 30? Yeah, they'll be on a truck tomorrow.
Yeah, no shit. Like, we need the business.
Right. I don't know, man. I bet that business is probably booming right now because you can't really go out and have human contact. Well,
Damn.
I don't mean to make this an episode solely about, well, that was a fucking unintended pun, wasn't it? Solely about Korea.
Boom.
But supporters of the NC Dinos can't attend games in person, so these fans of this baseball team got creative and sent life-sized cutouts in their place. On May 13th, South Korea baseball fans may have not been allowed to watch their favorite teams in live stadiums due to the pandemic, but the NC Dinos stands were not empty thanks to life-size cardboard cutouts and portraits sent in by the fans. The Korean Baseball Organization League, or KBO, kicked their season off 1 month late after a 5-week delay due to the coronavirus, but all the games will be played without fans in attendance. No fans were allowed in even though the park reopened. The Dinos marketing manager Park Jung-un said, so we thought about a way of giving enjoyment to fans and motivate the players. The club said that more than 60 fans participated, sending in their own pictures along with their favorite players or even their pets. I can't go into a stadium now, but my avatar is cheering on the team instead of me. It feels like I'm in the stadium, said Hong Dong-soo, a 38-year-old baseball fan. The club also set up cardboard cutouts with characters of the U.S. baseball team, the Durham Bulls, after that minor league team declared its support for the Dinos on their Twitter. Your attention, please, said their Twitter. We have decided which KBO team we will be supporting. This is now an NC Dinos fan account, said the Bulls. The Bulls are based in North Carolina, which shares the same NC initials with the Dinos. The Major League Baseball MLB is on hold also due to the pandemic. So ESPN reached a deal to broadcast the KBO games instead, which kicked off back on May 5th.
It's the most sports news we've ever heard ever.
I know. So let's bring things back around to what we're more known for, guys, outside of paranormal stuff. Let's bring things back to the U.S. in South Carolina, shall we? Where restaurant owners are using blow-up dolls to make sure customers take social distancing seriously. In Taylor, South Carolina, a restaurant owner has come up with a unique way to ensure social distancing. With dine-in service available at the Open Hearth in Greenville County, North Carolina, South Carolina being open for the first time since March, the owners, Paula and Jimmy Star Malahis, have found a very unique way to make the restaurant look full. They ordered 10 blow-up dolls, dressed the dolls in wigs and clothing and jewelry, and then set them in the booths. Instead of using scary yellow tape or roping off the empty tables, we thought, we're going to make this restaurant look full. So they ordered blow-up dolls from Amazon. They said the, quote, G-rated kind. We dressed them up. Yeah, they are just blow-up mannequins.
No O-faces.
They dressed them up and had them seated at the tables so they would look like they're actually being occupied by real customers. My grandson told me they look kind of creepy, but I think when people walk in, they're going to laugh.
I just can't understand what's wrong with his mouth.
Shove breadsticks in them. It'll be fine.
I was like, so this is in, you said North Carolina. I was like, oh, they don't got anything to worry about. Then he said South Carolina. I'm like, okay. It's going to be only a matter of time till somebody tries to fuck one of them blow-up mannequins.
I haven't seen a cook in about an hour. He's over at booth number 6.
Yeah.
Squeaky, squeaky.
What can I get you for today? Nothing. I just wanted to fuck one of the mannequins.
I'll have a number 6 and a side of oral, please. The owners said they're following social distancing guidelines by spacing out customers, using disposable menus, and ensuring employees wear masks. South Carolina is one of several states that started easing their restrictions about 2 weeks prior. The family-run restaurant has been in business for 61 years since Paula said her father-in-law first opened it. We're doing everything we can to make sure we do this right. We just didn't want the virus to be what shuts us down.
Do what you got to do.
Yep. But you know what? Good for them. I think that it's pretty unique and a lot smarter than old South Korea did.
True.
Well, I know it was a very sports-focused and short episode, but we just wanted to make sure we gave you guys something to listen to while we're prepping up that next episode.
Whoa. Hold the fucking phone. Back up for a second. Look, you can't do that to the listeners, okay? During these unprecedented times, they look forward to the weird, the creepy, the strange, and we can't just leave them hanging like that.
Okay.
Ooh.
You got to keep a good thing going. And Sean, since last week you tainted your Amazon search history for the show, this week,
True.
I got a surprise. I tainted my Amazon account by actually buying one of those raunchy pieces of fictional crap for you, the sweet, sweet listeners that keep coming back each week. And I didn't buy just one. No. I bought a 4-book collection.
Dun, dun, dun.
So
Wow.
sit back for just a small, tasty morsel of The Rona Got You Down. Don't worry, faithful listeners. The Pixelated Paranormal Podcast is another fantastical tale to cheer you up and make you laugh. So sit back, relax, go ahead and crack open that bottle of wine and warm up those gooey bits. It's time for Intimate Cryptid Encounters. All right. Let's give you guys a taste of Seduced by Bigfoot and Ravaged by Yeti. Betty Bedford was the typical small-town housewife in rural
You read the
Vermont.
whole thing like that.
Devoted, loving. She pressed the sheets, bleached the doilies, folded the laundry, styled her hair, packed her husband's lunch, and dutifully made love to said hard-working husband each night. Mr. Bradford was no stallion in bed, nor was he prudent. he was simply easy to please.
A basic bitch.
He was a
They met
basic
in
bitch.
bed at
Oh,
10
Brad.
o'clock each night. When Brad shut off the reading light, that was her cue to close her book and accept him. He would reach over, caress her shoulder, and then mount her. Foreplay was nil, for he found it tedious.
Okay, wait. So this guy's name is Brad Bradford?
Brad and Betty Bradford, right? This is not the best writing in the world, but stick with this because it gets better.
And the
okay?
plot twist is Preston actually wrote this.
Is their
Yeah.
neighbor Mitch Mitchelson?
Yeah. He entered her by way of missionary position and mechanically thrust himself in and
I need
out.
to put an NSFW at the beginning of this.
Oh my God.
In and out and in and out and in and out of her while she paid extra care to keep her hair in place. Betty took pride in her hair, and as vain as it made her feel, and vanity was looked down upon where she was from, but her soft, luscious locks made her smile when she looked in the mirror. Mr. Bradford complimented her hair when it was shiny and smooth, but making love to Brad was a nice routine for Betty, but she gained no satisfaction from it, but her hopes of creating life, it kept her optimistic. Brad made love for 6 minutes each time and afterwards dismounted her and apologized.
Yeah, sorry, honey. I'll make it up to you tomorrow. It's been a long day, and I'm just really tired.
Brad was asleep by the time he finished his sentence. Betty would wait a few more minutes for Brad to fall asleep into a deep slumber, and like a feather, she floated across the floor into the bathroom. She drew the curtains and opened the window. She reached up in between the storm window and the screen for her special pack of cigarettes. Brad didn't know his wife smoked, and he wouldn't like it if he found out, but this was her release, her post-quarter cigarette, a gift to herself to have a silent moment and to gaze at the stars twinkling in the night sky. And as her mouth made a wide O, the smoke drifted out, and her mind drifted with the nary of a thought in her head. Curiously, on this particular night, she felt like she was being watched, and Betty squinted her eyes and peered out into the dark, dark woods beyond their home, and she was sure she saw a shadowy figure flicker in the moonlight. The next morning, the alarm rang at 6:05, and by 7:30, Bradford had gulped the remains of his coffee, slipped on his spring trench coat, and was out the door.
Bye, hun. See you at dinner.
Betty didn't know it, but that would be the last time she saw Brad. She loosened the belt of her robe, for the time that Brad is not home is the time that she's free. But alone is more like it, she sighed, mulling over all the endless chores and the errands to run. She decided to start her day with a task that she enjoyed the most. She was going to bake a couple pies. Later that day, Betty arrived in the kitchen and saw her strawberry pie resting on the windowsill. The fragrant room was delicious, but she thought for sure she had left it in the oven.
Silly me. I haven't had my coffee yet. I must have taken it out. It would have burned anyhow.
She thanked the man above for watching out for her. At least someone was watching out for her. Betty glided across the kitchen to the windowsill. The pie beckoned her. The smell of it. Closely she inhaled the fragrance of berries and sweet caramelized sugar, butter, and vanilla. She inhaled so deeply, filling her senses with pleasure. Saliva gathered in her mouth, and just as she was about to swallow, something dashed behind the tree. Betty's heart stopped.
Did I just imagine that?
A large figure, very large, stepped out from behind the tree and glared at her.
What in the hell is that? Is that a man?
Betty was beside herself with curiosity.
That there's a very large and hairy. Oh my. Oh, that is a beast.
Betty spun around and pinned her back to the wall. Her heart was pounding out of her chest.
Oh, well, what does it want? My pie? Surely it's after my sweet pie. Perhaps if I offer my pie to him, he will leave and go back to where he came from.
Betty appeared around the corner, and out the window the tall, dark, hairy figure stood there, still as a stone, my lord, with his dark, cold eyes serious and impatient. She made it about halfway across the yard and stopped before the big oak trees. She bent down to leave the pie before him, but didn't notice that her robe had opened slightly, revealing her soft, tender breast. Bigfoot liked it. He beckoned her closer with the draw of his large, thick fingers. She lifted the pie from the soft blades of grass. Step by step by step, she drew closer to him. Each step she saw in more detail who this large, ominous figure was, standing at least 9 feet tall. This thick-bodied and muscular creature boasted broad shoulders, powerful tree-trunk legs, and a thick, dark mat of hair that covered him like body armor. Even his feet were enormous.
Well, he's Bigfoot.
This is no human, she thought. His dark liquid eyes glared at her. This is no beast. Not 3 feet away from him, she could smell his existence. My Lord, his natural musk, the earth and the wood. His hormones, though, she couldn't detect them, but she drew in closer.
Real quick, breaking character. The funniest part of this right now is that I did not read this script. I'm sure Sean didn't either.
No.
And we're literally reading smut to the listeners. This is great.
I know. God.
It's great.
I was just going to call this episode, something about sports or the news, but I think I'm just going to have to call it NSFW Surprise.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
Yeah, okay. Oh my, what is this creature? I've heard of Bigfoot and Yetis before, but I thought those were mythical creatures. Surely God wouldn't have put such a sinful creatures on our planet. I heard they kidnap people and commit adultery, rough and brutal acts.
She raised her hands, shaken, and offered her olive branch to the creature.
Perhaps since he is only after my pie, he will take it and leave.
The strawberry pie tempted the Bigfoot's senses.
Strawberries are regarded as delicious and highly sought-after treats in the forest, in case you didn't know.
He
What is that?
It's okay. I'll put a filter behind it.
That's so good.
Here was a treat with the delicious scent wafting over to him. The sugary aroma made him salivate. But it was
Wait, narrator, did you just say salvitate?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a salvitate?
Salvate?
Does it matter? Listen to the story. Doesn't
Sorry,
matter.
we'll get back to it. You were salvitating.
But it was when it swirled with the scent of this innocent, clean, and dainty human, this delicate flower of a human, a fertile woman. It is when it became intoxicating. His senses of smell were much cleaner than a dog's, and his primal instinct was more powerful. Therefore, he could smell how fertile she was. Her young, supple body was ovulating and releasing pheromones so strong he could taste them in his mouth. Her body was begging for the Bigfoot to fertilize her, and it was time for this big, hairy creature to claim his mate.
What the fuck?
I feel dirty and used, Preston.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's great. And the thing is like the little ad libs we added, people could be like, was that in the story?
God. Yeah, I know.
You'll never know.
They're so ridiculous.
And that, folks, was the first 5 chapters of the book.
What? How many? Is this a fucking 3rd grade reading level or the chapters 2.5 pages?
Yeah.
Well, Preston, I'm not
That's
sure if I should
funny.
congratulate you, thank you, or give you a warning.
Yeah, I know. But the best thing is it's a collection of books. So we got Owned by the Werewolf, My Wife is an Alien, and the extra was Seduced by Bigfoot. So there's more, and more coming.
That joke's too easy, and we're going to leave it alone.
Let me know what I need to read.
Well, you know what? I think we found the name for this. I think this will be our late night with Pixelated Paranormal Part 3.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. He's like, I put something in there.
At like
Read it.
an hour and a half before we record, Preston's like, I might have a surprise story for you guys. Should be 5 minutes at tops. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
When you're wrong.
Oh, well, Preston, thank you for that, man. I'm sure there's not a
You're
dry
very
seat in the house.
Yeah.
Hopefully the tasty bits are moist and warm.
God. Yeah.
And you had to ruin it.
Yep, there it went. Well, guys, we really hope you enjoyed that episode, and we will have the follow-up to the Murfreesboro Mud Monster on next episode.
Yeah.
But for now, we must leave you wanting more. Okay, Steve, what do you want to plug, buddy?
Cool. Check us out on Instagram, PXL Paranormal. You can get all the cool visual aids there. Also on Facebook at Pixelated Paranormal Podcast. Definitely hit us up on there. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. And, tag us in anything you want us to talk about on the show. Anything like that. We're all about
Hell yeah.
But our most fan listener interactions are on Instagram. So you can comment on there, message us, whatever you want to do. And we will get back to you. And also, we're going to be playing this new game on Xbox Live called Golf with Your Friends. Now. We don't sports. But we do like to fuck each other over in games. And that's what this is.
Yeah, and it's mini golf. So is that really a sports?
Mini golf is dope. Everybody can get into that. And it's not really a sport. And so, on that, you play up to 12 people and you play mini golf and you can like set these like little traps and physics-based type stuff. So we're always looking for new people to play with, especially on games where we can actually play with that many people, which is awesome. So
and we have, a huge listener base that I oftentimes don't really pay attention to the numbers on Facebook. And I went and checked, and there's quite a few folks following us. So we just want to say, first of all, thank you. And second of all, hello to all the new followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep. And sharing the podcast posts. That helps. Even if you don't get a chance to listen to the episode title doesn't interest you, whatever, the posts we put on Facebook will be the visual aid. So if that episode doesn't interest you, that's totally fine. If you can just share it. If you feel so
and
blessed.
Sometimes don't just judge the episode by the title, because sometimes I drop a lot of misnomers on there. So it might not be quite as in your face as, late nights with Pixelated Paranormal. So, and our good buddy Joe asked not too long ago if we were going to do something special for episode 150. So I was thinking, if you guys are on board, let's do a big listener story episode for episode 150. So about a month from now, we'll be dropping episode 150, and I want to just cram that thing so full of listener stories that, I'm hoping for a good hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, if we can fill that up.
That would be amazing. Audio, you can send in audio, send in email, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, whatever. Even if it's just like 2 sentences. Let's get them in, man. Because even if it's 2 sentences, we could talk about that shit for 20 minutes.
It'd be awesome. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever saw, you ever heard about, an urban legend maybe from where you grew up?
It's the weirdest thing you've ever done, if it's paranormal.
Yeah.
Some people do.
What's a topic you want us to cover? Like maybe give us a couple like hard-hitting questions. Whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do another AMA maybe, and just drop in some Ask Me Anything questions and answers during that episode too.
It'll be a completely listener focused episode. That'll be fun. And I think we're going to do an episode. Hopefully we can get old Grandpappy Rob on soon.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice to get him on that one. But
man, that'd be awesome.
If not, somewhere within the time with the anniversary and all that stuff. So.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be great. So, hell yeah. And also check out the rest of the shows on the Pixelated Sausage Network. You've got our other side show called 13 Nightmares, and we've got a lot of new content coming very soon, guys. We just made some changes to the way we're going to be doing that show, which is going to be for the best, and it's actually going to give us a chance to make more episodes, more content, so look forward to that. And the next episode, we're going to do a little dive into zombie movies. And then check out Mark's solo show, Pixelated Sausage. Check out his Attack the Backlog. And if you're an anime fan, check out Animazingly Baka. Presto, what do you got for us?
And as always, if you need a beard, if you want a beard, if you want to grow the most lush, salivating Bigfoot beard you could ever grow in your whole entire life, like Oh my God, Mr. Belvedere. Look at that beard. Oh.
I do love that Big Dobbs beard balm.
Check out BigDobsBeardBalm.com and use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order. And check out scents like Dundee Cedar, Bay Rum, Citrus, Sweet Tobacco, Mint, Fresh, Classic. And I'm not done, because there's more. The Mint's cut in Wichita, Kansas. So if you're a Wichita listener, that's right. They're back in business. They opened this week on Tuesday. That means that you can get off your asses and go to www.cutsbycolin.com. One more time. www.cutsbycolin.com and book now, because this motherfucker is so busy with the Rona hair that he's like 2 weeks out full. But you know what?
Awesome.
Tell him the Pixelated Paranormal cast sent you and ask for the Razzle Dazzle.
That's what it was.
Wow.
I was trying to think of what we called that last time. The old razzle dazzle.
Yeah. He's still probably not going to know what the fuck you're talking about, but he'll get a chuckle and he'll put his Bigfoot angel-like hands all over your body. It'll be good. Just do it.
I don't think he's going to touch anything besides their head, right?
Yeah, their beard and their hair.
There you go.
There you go.
Safe touches with consent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Support local,
Yeah.
and don't worry, he's not going to shave Bigfoot's testicles in the back of his head.
Unless you ask for it. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what the razzle dazzle is. Who knows?
Could be.
And speaking of shopping local, please check out our friends here in Wichita down at Pawnee and Seneca at CD Trade Post. Pop in sometime, say hello to Leslie and the gang, tell them Pixelated Paranormal sent you in. It probably won't get you anything, but
It'll get you a hug from Leslie.
maybe.
Well, not right
She might
now
give you an
because
air
of
high
COVID.
five.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Air high five or an elbow. Could be.
a social distanced how you doing.
That's very true.
Yep. And then
She's awesome.
yeah, most definitely.
They're such a good team, and she's probably one of the best human beings I know, honestly.
Yeah, I would second
She's
that.
crying.
Yeah.
She's crying right now. She's tearing up. I got
Oh,
you.
shucks. Yeah, we can't wait for some of this to blow over, get some more time on our hands.
I know. I miss my friends. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, it is very nuts. And speaking of friends, we can't wait to get together with Leslie and her awesome husband, John, and we can record some very special stuff for everybody.
Very true.
Yep. And then check out our friends down at Fast Print on Rock Road and Harry.
Cool.
Cool. Is that it, boys?
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Well, let's get a towel, clean ourselves off. And with that, I say cheers to the weird shit in the world and those of us that love to talk about it.
And stay spooky and keep driving on that paranormal highway, baby.
The cast at Pixelated Paranormal would like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. Pixelated Paranormal is here to tell you tales of the fantastical, the strange, the unknown. Tales that will move you a little further down the paranormal highway. If you'd like to share your own listener story, we would love to hear it. Email us at pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. Again, that's pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.